Hello, and welcome to a special expert guide from 4X Alchemist. This is James here. Back after years and years, I picked up Humankind a couple of weeks ago and just enjoyed the process of playing the game, and a bunch of comments came in from some of our old subscribers asking if we were ever going to go back and look at Hissho or the Umbral Choir, two of the new Endless Space races that had come out since I stopped playing the game. So I picked up Endless Space 2 again and took a look at the Hissho, which is what we're going to be talking about today. They're one of the most different factions in Endless Space 2. And they have mechanics that are really a bit difficult to understand at the beginning. So I've had a good time learning a little bit about them and learning what's different. It's almost not worth going through what they are here on the home screen. Honorbound, we'll talk about KE. I think it's KE. To replace approval, and then their people themselves, which we'll get to in a little bit, but they have a lot more weirdness besides that. So, as usual, we're playing on endless difficulty with endless pirates in a 10 faction map, and we'll do 30 turns just like the old days and see where we get. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time at the beginning, though, just talking about the major considerations to the strategy of the Hissho game, though, because it's, again, just different. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of the one city challenges, which are common in Civilization games. I spent some time during the pandemic playing one city challenges, getting every different type of victory on Civilization 6, and the Hissho play a little bit like that, like the One City Challenge. So let's first take a look back. We've got a disk galaxy where we're kind of at the outer end. Pretty generic, neither good nor bad. And so now let's start talking about the different things that we've got going on here. So first one is you start off with this weird ship. So this guy is called a behemoth. And this one is particularly an economic behemoth. It's not editable. You can't edit it until you complete at least 2 of your main faction quests, which are not particularly simple to do. We'll get to that a bit later. And it's got 2 salient features. The first is that that the system that it's orbiting gets 10 FIDs, right? So you can see that in the lower left here. So 10 extra of everything. And it's got these mining probes, which are the most perhaps unique and in some ways, as I understand it, controversial part of the Hissho. So if you mine, you can mine planets, uninhabited planets in particular. And so when you do so, these particular mines, I think they give you 15% of the FIDs of that planet. So the normal atoll, you can kind of see here, is 86420. And so you get 15% of that, 1.2, 0.9, 0.6, 0.3. And what does that apply to? It applies to every single population in your home system, which is potentially very powerful. It scales, like it's better and better based on the more population you have in your home system. So if you have something like this atoll planet, which has a ton of population slots here in the home system, that's obviously pretty damn good. I suspect that this is going to be a fantastic planet for us to start with. Kind of similar to Vodiani, as I've started a few different games with Hissho as I was learning to play them. I've noticed that they have a higher chance of starting with a very good home system because you don't end up with many systems. So let's talk about that next. The total number of systems before getting a penalty is really low. So you can only get 3 systems before you start getting a penalty. Because you don't have approval like all of the other factions, you have this single set set obedience score based on your K. When you start expanding beyond 3 systems, it punishes you in a different way. You don't get an approval penalty, you actually get a FIDS penalty. So it's 5% FIDS reduction on every single colony for every colony that you go over this limit. And so I think that you want to plan for not going more than, say, 2 or 3, like let's say 2 to 4 colonies over that maximum limit, which would be a 10 to 20% FIDS penalty in the whole game, like over the period of the whole game. And the only ways to increase this come quite late. I think Federation can increase this limit by 1, and then there's another ability that I think can increase it by 1 more, but not very dramatic. So next thing about these guys is this K resource that you get from destroying enemy ships, discovering or conquering systems. So discovering new systems is how you get a lot of it in the early game, and you lose a ton by retreating or failing an invasion. So it's often better to have your ships fight to the death than to retreat in order to save the ship. And you can use K for a whole series of things. So like this one, War Banners, you can give a fleet 2 extra movement and vision for 10 turns. In this one, with Titanium, you can add 25% industry to the system, or 20% if you cast it on the Behemoth, which we'll get to that maybe later. But just very quickly, you can cast this ability either on a system, so on a star, to give the 25%, or you can cast it on your Behemoth ship to give the star that it's orbiting 20%, but also any other stars that are in this red ring zone, they would get the 20% as well. And so that's one of the uses for K. Another use for K, and we're going to go here into laws. So we're dictatorship. So 1.5x% senator skill effects, but we don't have too many of those right now. And so one of the special laws that the Hissho have is this hatched at home, which gives you -1K per colonized system per turn, but gives you 25% FIDSy on every colony. So just huge bonus. Absolutely huge bonus. So we're going to adopt that one. So now we have -1 FIDSy per turn. Or sorry, -1K per turn for that 25% extra FIDSy. And now when we go in, we can kind of like see where we're at. So our baseline here is already 25 or 65 industry, 59 extra food, so we're growing in 6, 36 science, and 65 gold off the bat. So this dust production, gold production, this is going to be where we are performing way better than a standard early race, like with very few exceptions. And we don't have a lot to spend that money on. So what are we going to spend it on? Primarily upgrading ships. So we can get much stronger fleets in the early game than most other factions can. So I'm going to run through a couple of things here, and I think we can actually start the turn. So we see that we have a bunch of curiosities here. I think there were 4? Yep. 4 curiosities here. So we're going to equip our hero to our scout fleet. Because if the hero is on the fleet, then they'll get credit for exploring the exploring them. So you see we have no experience right now. We're going to start out and start taking a peek at some of the atoll. Oh. Okay, red saying is good, but the fact that one of the other ones was nothing kind of sucks. Then we're going to put our mining probe down there. And then next up, we're going to take, let's see, we could probably leave the Peregrine on its own for now and just let it go. And then for this guy, we're going to put in a better engine so that it moves at 5. Give it a probe, give him a probe as well. And then we can update that for 50. Nice. And then this is our colony ship, which is one of our early scout guys. We can pull off the defense, put on another engine to give it 9 movement, have it carry the colony, and then we can spend 47 to upgrade it. So now we've got 4 probes that will have to reset. Can't use the probe bug anymore because that was fixed long ago. And now we have to decide where we want to send our little brood ship to. There's not really a good way of determining this a priori, so I'm just going to go inward. See where we get. Huzzah! So we discovered a new place. You see we gained 1k. So this is ice, barren, warm, cold. Yeah. Gas, basically. Not particularly good news for us. So then there's probably a connection. It might be inside the zone there. So we're going to go check that out. And then over here, we want, so we're going to have the atoll. We want to start taking that one over pretty much right away because I think it's going to be much better. 9662 versus, yeah, 6563. So having our folks on the atoll is just really going to be worth it. And then we'll build some normal stuff after that. And this, industrial infrastructure is going to give us an extra 50 industry. So we want that ASAP. Behemoth is going to stick around on top of our main colony. And then for research, the important thing here is you actually want to get all of your planets operational as quickly as possible. So we have ice and we have ash. So those are not super easy to get going. Ice is like way down here. That's Arctic. There's ice. Okay, and then ash is over here. So let's think of what we would want first. So you definitely, at some point, you want a lot of the military technology with your Hissho buddies. Off-world agribusiness is always a good starting one. I think I may actually start with some xenobiology here. Nope, that's not correct. That's not tact. So I should start with off-world agribusiness and then probably go to xenobiology. Xenobiology is going to be useful because we have the plus 50 opportunity for the public-private partnerships in our home planet. So that's just a giant pile of science, right? That would more than double our current science if we built that. So we want that accessible as soon as we're done with our basic infrastructure work. And then we would do this one first because we'll have the ability to treat with some of the minor civilizations, which will be beneficial. Now we could switch over to plasma metallurgy if we find Hyperium that we want to exploit in the meantime. Yeah, and then we'll get some military stuff a bit later down the line. Okay. And so those 2 probes have given us about half of our progress to level 2. And then let's also just check a little bit about the quests that we have. So, be the first to have 3 star system improvements, and we get 75 red sang. That's it's a pretty good advantage. First to explore 50% of the galaxy. That's a long way away. And then this is the wonder. Okay, so 3 star system improvements is unlikely to be us on legendary. Unlikely to be us. But let's see. So I think we're good to move to the next turn. Yep. Don't think I forgot anything there. So now we'll move over to here. Oh, so we've got an asteroid field. Very good if we can get around it, but not so good if we can't. We really would love to have those couple of probes here. I actually am going to stick around one more turn so that I can get those 2 last probes scanned before we peace out. Because if there's titanium in particular underneath one of them, we really want that titanium, because we need titanium in order to launch this Way of the Obsidian Eagle, which gives us an additional 25%. 25% industry. So, nothing else to do here, right? Behemoth has to stay in orbit. We're going to keep our flight in orbit there. The only other thing I'm thinking about is I would love to get machine bacteria because the Hissho get extra K from exploration. Getting your Hyperion probes or titanium probes early is a pretty good advantage. But let's see. Alright. I think my desktop audio is off. That's weird. Oh, but I know what it is. There we go. Sound has returned. So now, let's check out these last 2 things. Hyperion. Bummer that it's not titanium. And that one on anomaly. Okay, so I think that we will head, oh, let's take a peek here. Wow, all right, so that's 5 planets, including titanium. Large forest, small boreal. Okay, well, this is exactly the sort of position that you want as Hissho. I don't think that there's any more to say than that. 5 planets, right? With a big forest as part of it, like, that's precisely where it's worth putting down an early place. Yeah, it takes forever for the Hissho to colonize. So you can see here, you have to spend K to colonize. We have 75 right now, or 77 right now. It would take 75 to immediately colonize. It can drop down towards 15. But like normal, you spend food. You can see here, you spend food to send the ships to the outpost, and that K cost will go down over time. So let's see here if it's worth doing anything. Do we want to? now that we have a little bit of cash, we have 130. We want to upgrade our hero ship. Just like some additional defenses. How much does that cost us? 76. It's probably worth it for us to do that. No, I think we have a little bit of time. Our hero should be back at base soon. And because, so the upgrade we're going to use is this one, plus 10 per planet on system and plus 5 industry. But because that doesn't matter unless our hero is a governor, it doesn't make sense to actually upgrade until we're ready to upgrade him. Or until we're ready to put him in the governor's seat. And then we have this other thing called hacking. We haven't found anybody yet. So I don't think there's any hacking thing worth doing. I guess we can just encrypt ourselves there. Alright. And then hopefully we are now getting some titanium, 2 per turn, which means we will be able to, yes, do the Way of the Eagle starting next turn. So this is a good start. Not easy, but definitely good. So then here we're gonna actually bring the Hyperion in front of the Hyperion will come in front of the other one, and in front of the science one, because we'll be able to start getting this Hyperion here. This is called Hyperion, right? Yes. Okay. And then these guys probably, let's see. So they get 1 extra influence when they're on a hot planet. But that's like 3 extra food and some extra... Yeah. It's definitely worth it for them to be on the atoll. Atolls are just great. Okay. Discover that new planet there. And then what we can do is we can take our Way of the Obsidian Eagle. So you can see I can cast it on the Behemoth, which will give 20% to everything in the zone. But it will be better for us to cast it on this thing, which will give 25% instead. So now we're gonna get our Xeno Industrials in 3. Yep, it's gonna be worth it to do it in this order. You know, I almost wonder. I think I'm gonna go back to the way I had it before, because that 50 science will mean so much to us right now that I think I'm gonna get the public privates before getting the drone networks and the cerebral reality. These are both massively upgraded from where they used to be. They used to be 5 and 5 and like 10 and 10. So they're definitely worth getting now. But 50 science and 50 industry is still just so much better if you've got the industrial powerhouse to make it in the first place. If you don't need that leg up to get there. And I think that's going to mean more to us than those couple of Hyperion. So we can either assimilate a minor faction or build 2 ships of a certain defensive power. I always pick this, build the ships of a certain defensive power, because you can do this right from the get-go. With some, like a little bit of a cheesy strat. I'll show you guys that in a second. And then we're going to come around this planet, which has 2 barons. Not the most exciting thing I've ever seen. Coral reefs, some experience. How close are we? Can we assign a governor? No, he's locked for 4 more turns, so locked until turn 9. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is, ooh, what do we got here? A monsoon planet, snow planet, 3 curiosities. Yeah, that'll be a good spot to grab some experience for our hero. Looking good. This is a nice little corner of this galaxy edge. And then yes, this behemoth really just sits here at the beginning. Once we get more mature, we may be able to do something by moving them over to this asteroid field, but we'll experiment with that later. So now we should be coming around here. We just have 1, so we'll, I don't know, life form, no atmospherics, so nothing to save. Some more red sang. Alright, which is fine, we like red sang. Anything else that we need to do now? We're going to get xenobiology next turn. So it actually makes sense. You want to eliminate those 2 things so that any spillover industry is saved and goes into the thing that you build next. Very minor point, but I think worth mentioning. Alright, so now we're going into plasma metallurgy. We've got our science improvement, which we can build in 2 turns. Hoorah! And then after that, we're going to complete our little mission. So then now we're going to grab our last 2 probe curiosities here. Honeycomb scope, that's the extra vision range. Eden incense. Okay, there's some good stuff there. But interestingly, this is like probably not good enough for us to build a colony on it. Probably. And so, yep, you're almost level 3. If we can get you to level 3 before turn 9, that would be excellent. You can see these couple of ships. 20 food or so headed in there. All right. Now we're up to 4 people, it looks like, and we have. So this is our words in private quest that unlocks the behemoths. So as a whole galaxy, you have to unlock 25 technologies in the military quadrant. And once that's done, you reveal all these behemoth technologies to allow us to start editing that. So it's an interesting sort of time gating mechanic. I haven't tried it on any other size of galaxy or with any other number of players other than the 10 players that I have now. Oh. That's interesting. So red sang is used to boost the elo, but it doesn't make sense to boost them now because I'm using them not on a hot planet anyway. But good to know that I have that availability. Oh, and you're level 3. Well, that's lovely. Okay. And there's 3 curiosities there. You're going to be able to get 2 or 3 of them, hopefully. And then be sent back next turn. Now we've got our probe back. And so we can't do the atoll anymore, so we have to do the ice or the ash. So the ice, you can see, gives us about 2 science and 1 dust per population, and so, but we're obviously going to go with industry over the science right now. It's not so obvious, but we are going to go with the industry in the early game because we love industry. Great. And then the next 3 turns will be a lovely little progression of finishing a few buildings. Maybe we'll even make it to that legendary achievement. What was that one again? I think we're 2 down, right? Oh, this is 3 unique star system improvements in your empire. Oh. Yes, I think the other one where it's just any star system improvement, that's 10. Alright, and we've got 3 curiosities to take a look at. More red sang, Imperium, and science from scrap. So what was that planet? A medium Mediterranean with high gravity. So yeah, probably not a candidate for us. And so what we can do here is now we can grab our friend Kogewa Brightblade, and we're going to upgrade them to get 2 points there, which give us an extra 40 food. You can see 40 food from forced labor, which is his special ability, and an additional 10 industry. So that's solid stuff. It's fascinating though that we have not found any of the minor civs. So we have some more exploring to do, but luckily that's exactly what we're up for next. So do you remember the number that we have to shoot for? 264 defense. So we're going to take our peregrines and we're going to give them some defense, and then some defense. And what was that number? 264? This is 268. One thing to remember here is that the bullets, the slugs, actually give you a little bit of anti-missile defense. So if you add in beams or missiles, you actually can't get there. But if you add in slugs, that's an extra 60. So you can make it to the appropriate level right off the bat. So you make those peregrines, and we can have a couple of them done in 3 turns. And then we're going to probably start making this research park. But now we're up to 102 on the science production, so we should be kicking off nicely. So plasma metallurgy is next, and then we might want to go straight into atmospheric filtration so that we can colonize that ash planet. Other thoughts would be the galactic commodities, or starting to get more of our ubiquitous surveillance and kind of other military tech. But I think I want to level up and get to system development quite quickly here. So getting 1 here and then galactic commodities, number 2, is going to be worth it for us. And then we can go red sang to get an additional 60 food. That sounds strong. And then, oh, how quickly can I get this? 3 turns, huh? To get machine bacteria? I think I'm gonna take that opportunity just so that I can upgrade and get some crazy probing action going on. And then you, my peregrine friend, you start moving this way. Ooh. Saphirus, that looked like a ton of curiosities. Oh wow, look at all these positive anomalies. Low gravity, Humerus, fossils, Huygens rings, hollow planet, tundra hollow planet, or mineral-rich hollow planet. So that is an interesting area. Might actually be worth it for those 4 planets. We'll have to think about it. So now we can finally use our Hyperium. We're going to get machine bacteria there and move our ships out. Right, so we've got a long artery to whatever's next over there. We're really kind of in our own sector of the world, which is not so great for us, I must say. How are we doing over here? 49, so this is coming down nicely, but we're not ready to give up the goat on that just yet. And then, yeah, I think we just truck on forward. Nothing else to do here. We want to really discover some additional stuff. Find some pirates or something. And so here, the question is, do we build center of the Obsidian Eagle first? Probably additional industry is always going to be worth it for us. And you know what? I'm going to go... I think we just want to build a brood ship to get our 1 more out there. Let's see what we find. Wow. Really nothing, huh? Oh, that way. And there we have a pirate ship. Oh, that's kind of unfortunate. Alright, we're going to see if we can just fly through without irritating those pirates, because remember, we don't run away. Kind of can't, kind of don't. But yes, if we wanted to, it's arid ash lava tundra. Yeah, I don't love it making a second colony ship yet. I think we can do some more exploring first. So let's indeed do some more exploring first. Oh, that's right. We finally found somebody new, so we can hack. So we have to go from our place to these pirates. It'll take us 14 turns. How annoying. Got our machine bacteria. Hurrah. And we built our 2 ships. So we get ubiquitous surveillance, 5K. And we have to invade and occupy a system. That's our new objective. So now we're gonna create a fleet here, and we're gonna upgrade these guys. So I like the Hyperium probes best. And so we'll go with 1 Hyperium probe, and then let's see. I guess we'll just go with the upgraded slugs. Yeah, that looks good. And I'm just going to upgrade both of these puppies. So that's where we talked about some of our money going to these things. And then 1 Peregrine will head to here. kind of want to just spray out some... Oh no, it has to upgrade, right. So it has some work to do before those probes become useful, because they weren't built with the probes. Of course, of course. Yeah, not finding any... not finding any small minor factions yet. That's a pretty big pain in the ass, I have to say. Because normally you're taking something over, influencing them, like even invading them. Is that the direction that I chose? I thought I chose that direction. All fine. Mining operation finished. Yeah, we're gonna move forward here again. You saw I just clicked into building the Endless Research Park, which, if you have K production, can be quite good. So what we're going to do actually before getting there, so we're going to get our atmospheric filtration. We got our ubiquitous surveillance. And then after these couple of things, we're going to go over here and get our attack ships, which will allow us to build a reasonably competent fleet, which can then allow us to go fight some pirates. 35 over there, so we're making progress. We're gonna get that soon, but I want to start the next wave of the Obsidian Eagle before we do that.
The Hive cares a little for the
Cravers, huh? Probably past them in the night as they're heading towards the pirates. That's right. Whoever was scared of Cravers. Ooh, is that a pirate ship? Okay. Well, you know what that means. Let's take a look, actually. So, it's a Prowler and a Positron. So those are mixed and laser only. So what we're gonna do is take our Peregrine base and we're gonna switch it to some laser defenses. And with those laser defenses and our Hyperion probes, we're gonna build... I forget the hotkeys. Alt. Yes, we're gonna build a couple more of these guys. Right now. Before we start on that next piece. So that we can fight some pirates, get some K. Hey, Sisters of Mercy. Finally, wow. And this is like a dead end as well. Okay. Amateur Machinist, 10 health regen ratio. Well, no downside to just giving them the time of day. We're probably even going to go ahead and go 70 with them. And I'm going to go 1, 2 towards kind of the center of the universe there. And we'll let him sit until next turn. You, my friend, have got an Arid and a Boreal. explore. Eden incense and vision range and Eden incense. Okay. I'm kind of digging where this is going. Ash is going to become available. Yeah, this is solid. What's happening right here? Oh, and this is a dead end. Wow. So is that my whole... Oh, this is not a dead end either. Okay. So this is almost like my whole constellation within that is the touching constellation near it. Huh. So do I have cravers on the constellation with me? This is going to be interesting. A little different than what I've experienced before for the Hissho. Usually there's just more folks around. So we're gonna go ahead and equip and encrypt there. Look at that. We can do our big data shipyards and our first peregrine. Up to 6 people. No tricks so far on this stuff. I wish I would have had the ability to do something more techy to get more folks, but so it goes. And this is about the time where I would start considering taking the behemoth for a little bit of a walk, because the 10 fids that we're getting out of it are less and less impactful here. On the system growth, on the food, they kind of are, right? The 70 versus 80 is definitely a non-zero difference. And then, let's see. So here we've got 15 industry, including the ash planet, or 6 and 6 for the governance. I don't think that the fleet health or the reduced cost is sufficient there, so I'm going to go with the extra food. Okay. And yeah, I think it makes sense to do it like this. Right, so those pirate ships are headed back towards me. Create this puppy. And chuck some probes towards the inner world there. So we're 114, 317. Alright, so our 2 peregrines or 3 peregrines will be substantially better than his little fleet. Supposedly. Excuse me. And here, we'll get our last curiosity out of this area. Yeah, just an empty loot. Or empty dust. And then 19. So now I think it's actually time. So what we're going to do is, I told you before about wanting to do that one again. So we can go back to 1 there. That's excellent. And then we're going to actually incorporate that with our K. And so now, what it makes most sense for us to do here is to pull in the drone networks first. Does that feel right? Probably does. Yeah. And then try to occupy as many as possible. We were going to need to get a new hero there, and we're going down 2k per turn now. So this is where it starts to feel a little bit dicey, but we need to just get to the point where we begin kicking ass. So let's see where our stuff is now. Yep, 128 from here. I forget the bonus, if there's like global bonuses to different levels of K. Okay, yeah, there is a science and a science and dust bonus for having more K that we just lost. So we have to be cognizant of that.
Welcome to the Sophonity.
Right, so what we're gonna do... No, I... You little pooper. They were too fast for me. We're gonna toss out another probe randomly that way. And we're going to try to go catch ourselves some pirates. We can merge these guys together and be there in 3 turns. It's not... Wait, can we actually do a little bit better than that? I think we can. I don't think that's going to save me a turn, though. So I think we'll just leave it. Because this K right now is pretty valuable. We're about to get the Ash Planet in. Yeah, this is okay. Turn 17 now. Moving at a medium rate. I'm not super happy with this, but I'm not unhappy. There's finally no one discovered the Academy, so we need to get the atmospheric curiosities. How's our manpower doing? Not great because we don't have any minor Civ faction friends. Although we're trying to work on that. These guys, in addition to providing some health and science, are really helpful with manpower. But luckily the Hissho have their own manpower bonus. Right, and by going straight here, I should be able to grab some of that. And then I can go here, throw a few more probies out. World. And then, okay, so we're going to do efficient shielding after commodities. And then other ones that should be on our list should be autonomous construction, but also I'm going to add baryonic shielding here because we're a little constrained by our own area, especially since we want to invade something. So either Sophons will have to be it, or maybe there's someone else out there. We're going to be shooting a bunch of probes out next turn to give us a little bit better sense of that. So, 18. There we go. Oh, snap. I forgot to change something important, but that's okay. So we're going to take shield absorption as our... no, we actually want to get in there. Because we're super short range, right? Yep, we're super short range. They're all over the place, so we'll just get in there. Yeah, but that's a little ugly. And we paid for it. All right. So yeah, we lost a peregrine. What I meant to do there is that there's an amazing battle tactic called Take Trophies that gives you 30 gold and 10 science for every command point that you take out, which is really good stuff. Okay. So we're gonna go right down there, over here, and over there, just to start giving us a little bit of breathing room. And we have an awful lot of that stuff going on. 2 turns of cooldown there. So I'm probably going to wait the 2 turns, start mining again, and then I'm going to make my way up here, I think, to Iena. Because an additional 10 of each for our behemoth is really worth something. We're growing very fast here, which is good. Dust. Nah. I don't think we need the extra dust right now. We need to generate a lot more K though. Invade and occupy. I don't even think that it counts with the pirates, unfortunately. Okay, they're going to give us a little something at least. Probes did I have? Oh my gosh, I had so many. Alright, so we're going to try to thread every needle here. and throw some out even backwards. 2 turns to efficient shielding. Fatia, nothing here. Okay.
Tell us what you plan.
I refuse.
Tell us.
In fact, I must ask Scavenger.
Live is watching. Always.
9385. So my Peregrine is a lot stronger than that, right? Yeah. So I'm only allowed to go this way, huh? Could just declare war. Try to win a battle. See where that takes me. I think that's not a bad idea. I'm not going to be at peace with the Cravers. There's no reason to be like, you know, play a little dance of peace with them. So yeah, I think we're going to do that. Be like, hey, Cravesies.
What do you sound like when you scream?
Declaring war is free. What are the other options that I have? Open borders? Yeah. No, I like this.
What plans?
We're gonna go like that. And we're gonna check what kind of stuff they have. So they're okay. So they're medium range laser stuff. Oh, and this is the basic bitch Peregrine. Alright. Well, we'll see if we survive. We'll just try to get up close.
Our purpose is to...
Decisive victory. Yeah, 3K. And I think that the idea is to just stay here until we die. Or we can move ahead. Let's see what happens next turn. But we'll take that K. Yeah. Access to simple interactions. Okay. So I think that I want this discover 4 systems outside my constellation one, because this other one is 10 curiosities, which is I've often done before. Oh. Come on now. That was a misclick. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and auto-save or auto-load my game. Is this turn 20? Yeah. That was foolish, as I was just trying to mouse over it. Let's try that again. But yes, I've done the 10 curiosities one in the past, but since our curiosities do not seem to be that high right now, and we have all of these probes running everywhere, I think that the 4 systems outside the constellation, since the constellation seems kind of minimal, this would be a perfect time for that. Alright, so Elo, no idea. Now this one, not curiosities, discover 4 systems, confirm. Here we are. We found some nebular clouds out here. So we may even be discovering some stuff in this area. Hard to tell what is or isn't constellation. I presume that actually this is our constellation. But the question is this one our constellation? I forget how you even... look at constellation view. Oh, it's just been so long. So maybe here? No. Hovering over that doesn't seem to do anything. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just have to see. As it goes forward, if new stuff we discover counts as being outside our constellation. So. Autonomous construction should definitely be next after the efficient shielding here. And then we made our plan that we were going to start mining again. That's going to be on the ice planet this time. And then after that, we're going to take off. 7 turns. Yeah, waiting was right. Oh, you know what we didn't do? Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. We can upgrade our freaking systems. There we go. Yep, we want to probably continue entrenching our militarists. Ecologists are a sometimes worthwhile one. Yeah, we'll just keep with militarists. Dust Windfall. Yeah, I mean, I always love industrialists, but that's just because I'm a whore for industry. Okay. Oh. Wait, I thought we changed to this one. I'm definitely not taking the hit to industry, so I guess we'll take the hit to influence. And I will... Oh, hey. Is that a... Yes. It's an expedition from the Cravers. Oh, man. Alright. May not have picked the best time to evacuate with my guy there. But 189. So let's see what we are building with our attack ships. This is what we want to be doing now anyway. So our basic bitch attack ships, I want to get at least 1 missile in there. But let's also actually see. Let's also see what this Craver baby is sending to us. Okay. So just bullets, huh? piercing only bullets, then I would say we could do sync laser would be the obvious choice. To give us strong medium range laser abilities. Yeah. I think let's go for it. And then we want a couple of other things here. We want a transport, which will be using the, I guess, Roost, which is the colonizer ship, right? Yeah. It's the cheapest one as well. And so that's going to carry essentially just engines and manpower. And then the Kestrel, which we want to have maybe some missiles and some defensive stuffs. Yeah, right now I guess we'll just put some more manpower into it. Okay. So we're gonna build 4 Hawks. I suspect. Oh, 93? I think I lose this battle. Right, because it's 93.85 and we're 72.203. Yeah, we'll try it. Yeah, I thought not. Oh, it didn't update. That's good to know. Well, we're going in. Decisive victory. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see, Peregrine. Alright. We're doing almost nothing here, but that guy is fighting away pretty nicely. Got 2 more turns here. Oh, we just discovered 2 new technologies. Are those? Yes, they are indeed outside of our constellation. Now we'll just kind of like filter through the gaps there. The question is, do we want to fight this guy, this pirate thing more? 284. What's our manpower? 120. Not so good. The Hawks will help there. So I think we probably are going to be best served to actually retreat so that we don't lose those guys to a big fleet that comes up. Hissho up and at him here. Fantastique. Almost to our Xeno Industrials, which will get 50 between these 2. Alright, I'm relatively happy with this. Turn 21, huh? Autonomous construction, by the way, we're getting this guy to give us tanks for ground battles. So I didn't contribute to this at all. And now we have to explore some locations that are way the poop away from me. But I will take the K. Oh, that guy's moving fast. So then, yeah, I don't see where these guys are. All right. We're full up on the atoll at last, starting to fill up the hot planets. So this is good. All right, I think we just kind of continue forward here. Let's see, is this guy doing anything other than being a badass, I guess? Start getting some gifts from those guys. These guys will get us to 50%, so we could actually think about absorbing them. And yeah, this is okay. Luxury price increases. Do we need cash for any reason? Yeah, we don't have a lot. We just don't have a lot. Ice, barren, cold. How's this place? This is like toxic lava, toxic. Yeah. Not loving a lot of this. So this is, you know, like a very middle of the road game, I think. We have a good system up here. Okay. We are now the sovereign of the Sisters of Mary. Yeah, make an offer to assist. Okay, so it wants a hero on a fleet, and then orbiting that fleet for 6 turns to get them. That's a tall order, isn't it? Don't really have a lot of extra heroes. Speaking of which, I would like some more heroes. Trade companies. Yeah. Unique improvements. There's just like a lot of stuff that I could be doing here. Man. Getting this extra food one is actually also pretty nice. Slowly building back up our K. We've got the Sophons exploring. I think I'm gonna do, now that we're growing almost every turn, I think we can do a couple of things. First thing that comes to mind is that we should be boosting our elo so that they're getting +2. Next thing is that I would like to send one of these Elo to our friends. Yes, transfer to another star system. Can you? How does this work now? Right. Uh-huh. It used to work such that you would click where you wanted it to go to. Oh my gosh. Alright, I'm just not gonna futz with it right now. Okay. 2 turns. These guys are gonna end up over here. Okay. Nice. These guys made it over here. Which means they're now adding some bonuses. We like that. And now we can make 4 hawks. Merge them together into one. And actually drive these Sophons. Oh. I keep forgetting to do that. Keep forgetting. You just retreated.
Your actions will only make the war.
We will definitely refuse.
Your actions will only make the war.
But we are going to look at our tactics and replace this hull plating one with take trophies. Okay. Because I would like to take some trophies, please. Now, yeah, I guess you can do that. Get another +1, so that's +10, +10. Which seems pretty good. This guy's over here should be able to mine in 1 turn, which is a bonus that'll go back to our main place. All right. Now we can go off-piste. So our peregrines, these guys are defensive to shields, but they want to get up close and personal, but they're way... Alright, so these guys have no hull plating, so that means I'm going to go like this. Decisive victory. All of our guys survived. Hooray. Done. And then what I'm going to do is take this guy out of the thing and attack this little guy. these 4 guys. Attack you. You retreated off that way. We will kind of swap places there. Fun stuff. Alright, so now these guys are actually starting to really go. We'll move the governor over as soon as they finish the wonder. If we can. If we can get a new governor, that would be even better. I think we're 1 off-piece discovery. Oh, that's what we should be doing. Yeah, these guys should head over to here to start exploring new realms. Yep. So we're going to do it in the last 5 turns or so. Okay. So just kind of running through. Trade. Don't have anything going on. Is there 1 ship down here still? There is. Look at this little puppy. Just ticking away. Yeah. Ticking away. Alright, well. Population collection bonus. Usually the first one is just extra extra military pressure. So whoop-de-whoop. So here 1.8.7.3 or yeah, this is gonna be much better. Throwing down on the arid. All of our 12 guys back here are producing a little bit more. Got our landscaping, and then the plan after that was to go for heroes. But I actually think we can do better. I would love some heroes, don't get me wrong. But I would also love... Oh, hey. Alright, we got 4, which means we got our Savage Ramscoot, which is pretty great, actually. I haven't used it yet, but 3 movement points, but each movement point gives you an extra 25% distance. Oh, colonize or create an outpost on 2 unique planets to get a hero. Okay. Well, we can look for something. Certainly open to looking. So now these guys are gonna come in here, and then move these guys forward this way. So a little bit of there and back, but we're just going to bring them over to this new zone. Savannah Ash Terran. This is a pretty nice area, I have to say. And it is technically in like the same zone. I can get in the same zone as my behemoth over there. Huh. Okay, well, a couple more turns. kind of want to just make these military technologies to get closer to this freaking behemoth thing, because it's not too many more. So like if we make focused plasma, for example, that's one of the next ones. Could be good. Landscaping, I don't think we actually need. We're not going to be building it right now, are we? Yeah, it's pretty solid. We'll take it. And then just as an example, I think we're going to try a blood ritual. I just think it's interesting. I haven't played around with it too much. This is going to be manpower with extra food. But I just want to play around with it a little bit. Ooh. What have we got here? 97.85. I think you just keep losing to me with your stupid little Craver ships that you're sending one at a time. Oh, but I'm almost dead. Right. Well. Wait. What? I'm not exactly sure what just happened there, except that we're clearly great. So I had no health left, but he had just really bad missiles, I think. And we had better than crappy missiles. So now we're back up into a pretty good area. All right. Do this, then we're going to finish the research park, and then I'm basically going to build 2 more hawks, 2 more kestrels, and I want to switch over 100% of this to armor. But I don't have the cash to do the upgrade on the armor yet. We can get that in a bit. We would like. Some nice population gains, 20% of galaxy explored. Rejuvenation field. Cool. So we're going to put you in the hangar to heal. We're gonna create a backdoor? Sure.
Your action.
Yeah. I don't think there's really any dead space for me to explore out here. Might as well just go like that. And then these hawks and kestrels, I want to try out Hogs. That super speed is pretty interesting. What if we did it like this? Hog 3 and then Kestrel 3. The same. This, but with a better gun. Alright. Try 8 more. So yeah, we have tons of food here. This is just pretty solid stuff, I'd have to say. Gaining pretty much one every turn. Wish we had some more different populations to go with. Is this the same thing as before? It is. Do you think we can just keep winning? Are we just impenetrable to baby missiles? Oh yes. What can we say? We learn, and then we test, and then we learn a little bit more. Alright. And that K production is actually huge. So now it wants us to get hacking. So I guess we've defended our 2 areas there. So now we should be able to start and hack through 2 here. Okay. I'm not super familiar with this hacking thing yet. It seems to be like a lot of fuss for pretty minor benefits. That's what I'm getting so far. Oh yeah, I'm definitely not interested in bowing to your
actions will
pressure.
only make the
You can have a little bit of manpower. That's totally fine. Okay. Nice, then it uses the extra movement that it gets when it comes into the circle. You saw how it went from 7 to 8, and these guys went from 5 to 6. Small, but neat. Ugh, and I would really love to move my hero over. What else we got here? Toxic and Arid. You know what? I'll bet that Arid... It's like right here, isn't it? Yeah. Ugh, we just need so many more military quadrant technologies to get our frickin' behemoths unlocked. So it takes a little while, but it's not too bad. I'd say it's going okay. One hero, but some decent fleets moving around. I feel like our overall fids are not embarrassing. We've moved to cordial. Friendly. Alright, we've got our Endless Research Park, which gave us 5 more K. So hooray from that. Now we have 20 turns of getting some additional juiciness from them. you can only have one thing active at a time? Is that it? Interesting. Okay. So that Peregrine is healing nicely. This is Peregrine 3. Edit latest. Ooh, we just got a bunch of new stuff. New weapons. Okay. Yeah, these beams are way better. So we got new beams, new missiles. Oh, and it is expensive to upgrade them. Hawk 3s look really puny. 153.67? Huh. Why don't we give them a little something? More like that. Oh yeah, but this was our idea to make them super fast, right? Well, we're gonna figure out how fast they are. Now these guys should have a ton of, yes, a ton of manpower. And now we can go to our marketplace. Since we're not using all of this, we can just say sell 10 Hyperium, 10 Titanium. The luxuries are surprisingly valuable for us right now, so I'm not going to sell those. We are going to then buy extra health for tanks on the Empire. And then we're going to scan, 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 and invade. And the idea here is that we would do just bombing. That was a huge success. Okay, but this is telling us that the tanks did most of the work. The bombing did just a little. We took 1,300 damage from their infantry. We did 2,400 damage. Alright. And so we're almost done here with our first 30 turns. I feel like we're really going to start picking up after these turns. Ground battle. Yeah, I think we're just going to bomb them again. decisively victorious. Got 60 titanium and hyperium. Not bad. We get a pirate layer curiosity for an extra 60 dust. But note that that did not count for invading and conquering a system. So now let's see how fast this puppy goes. Whoa. Look at those big steps that guy takes. Gotta like that. Cool. We can actually send this doopy out to here. And we'll see what we want to do with these guys. You can head across. These guys will stay there, but this is turning into a pretty solid little outpost. Get some farming going on here. This is all Hissho, so it makes sense to build this and just, yeah, really ramp up population. We'll figure out how to get the other population there later. We're just gonna construct a bunch of these puppies. We're running a little bit low on our food because of... Oh, that sacrifice we did actually diverts it to manpower for 10 turns. Well, that's terrible. We definitely don't want that. Huh. Okay, we'll take the extra manpower capacity, I guess. So yeah, that's a buyer beware moment. So we're losing 200 food to manpower every turn because of the Sun God's ritual. So I would definitely recommend avoiding that one to the extent that we can. Yeah, but I don't see how I have a choice of which one to do. It's like over here, for this ritual, it's the same. After 3 observances, the cycle is complete and it restarts. So I have to figure out how to do that and use it better. But yeah, for now, here's where we're at. Turn 30. Dare we? Dare we? We dare. Our limping peregrine falcon with its wings clipped just keeps fighting these brand new Craver fleets, and they just don't learn. They're just not learning. But yes, by harvesting the K from those fleets and in general protecting our area around here, we seem like we're in a pretty solid spot, but now we have to start scaling. And so the next step for me here is to really get this military technology piece sorted out. So that could come from... Okay, not sure what was going on there. That could come from technologies like survival suits, or we could do more advanced technologies like fleet management. But I do want to get some heroes first. I think it would be very beneficial for us. So, yeah, I guess we're gonna stop it here. This is the kind of end of how we're using Hissho. Let's just drop over this again. So we're at 350, 350 industry with about 60 from the bonus we're getting from our law, and another 60 from the Way of the Obsidian Eagle. So those are really key to doing this properly. And then this system growth production, that would be about plus 200 food if we didn't do the sacrifice. So we'd be growing at like 1 every turn. Now we're growing at substantially less than that. Still not terrible, with a level 6 hero that we're using as a governor, and a second area that has 3 planets, 2 more will be coming on the way. And yeah, feeling pretty good about this as a starting point. I'm going to have fun playing the rest of the game here, and hopefully this is useful to just get a sense of how the Hissho work. So thanks everybody for listening, and I hope you have a good time playing the Hissho and trying out some more Endless Space 2. Forest Optimist signing off.